Welcome to Freedom at the Crossroads, helping women everywhere look better, feel better without the pressure. This is Tony from Freedom at the Crossroads, and welcome to a new day here in snowy, wintry Chi-Town, Chicago. What's going up, girls? What's going on? Today we continue in our series and theme for the new year, The Undomesticated Woman, because it is so necessary. I don't want us to go into a new year, a new time, a new day, a new season where we continue to sacrifice ourselves and our lives and our hopes and dreams and energy and all that we are on OPE, other people's expectations. Today we're talking about breaking free from OPE, breaking free from other people's expectations, and the real underlying issue behind that. The real underneath all of that about when it comes to expectations, actually that's to me another word for power. Because when you allow other people's expectations to drive your daily life, the daily course of your life, that's control, that's power, and control that is inherently yours, where you're giving it away to other people or you are allowing it to be taken from you. That is a form of disempowerment. And I don't think a lot of times we recognize, we see this as kind of a benign thing where we default as women into giving into the expectations of other people for whatever reason. Either, we fall into a false sense of contentment or we feel it's the path of least resistance. But the reality of it is that you're giving away your power, you're giving away your own essence, and you're giving away your own life. Because when you give into the expectations of others, when you are a slave essentially to the expectations of other people, be it culture, be it society, be it media, or what have you, or a relationship, you are giving away your power. You are bound by that. You are shackled and enslaved by that. And it takes a real awakening and self-evaluation and self-searching, soul-searching rather, to come to that realization and say, hey, I could be living the life that I've always wanted, the very best life I came on this earth to achieve, the life of impact and becoming such a change maker in this world. Because let's be honest, let us be clear, let us be real. Each and every one of us has an imbued gift from the universe, from God, that we alone can unwrap and unpack on this plane of existence. And if we fail at that, God, what a tragedy. That is such a tragedy, to fail at that, to allow ourselves to be robbed of the joy of unpacking that unique gift that is inside of us. And so that is one of the major risk we run into when we when we allow ourselves to be controlled and dictated to by the expectations of other people. It's critical that we understand, and not just blindly move like cattle in one direction without really tapping in and being made conscious and being awakened to the fact that when you allow your life and your choices to be dictated by other people's expectations, you have no control. You are essentially a slave. Your needs, your wants, your desires do not matter on the landscape of other people's expectations. By definition, other people's expectations are not yours. And so when you allow yourself to be dominated by that, controlled by that, you are no longer living. You are not even living. You are unawakened. You are bound. And good, examples of this are when you find yourself feeling like, have you ever felt like you're like a hamster on a wheel going nowhere. Just that crazy cartoon where you're just spinning, spinning, spinning. For those of you who visited Freedom at the Crossroads, I believe I do have a post where I actually show that hamster wheel going nowhere. And it's, at one instance it's funny, and at the other it's very tragic, because all this energy is being put into an activity. So, and it's so frantic and frenetic. It's just going, 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 but nothing's happening. Nothing is changing. It's just a grind. And it's depressing to put that in human terms, where every day you wake up, you get up early in the day, you got to attend to other people's needs. You got to, you have, say for instance, you're a mom, you've got children to make sure are ready for school, their lunches are packed and everything. Say for instance, you have a spouse or significant other, you are in the position where, or have accepted the role where you are the caretaker of everybody in the household. And yet, when it comes to you, there's no one standing in the gap for you. There's no one on the other side refilling your well and refilling your cup for whatever reason, whether it's deliberate, imagined, or just one of those things that, we as human beings have a tendency to take for granted. And you're being taken for granted. Your needs are not being met. Your health needs in particular and self-care is just like non-existent, and it's because you have given control over to other people's expectations. You have essentially been disempowered, whether you allowed it to happen or it was something that was taken from you by design. And it's sad and it's tragic, but there is a way out. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that's called personal development. Now, some people don't want to hear about that. Some people say, no, there's nothing that I need to adjust internally, or, I like what I do. I like I like feeling tired at the end of the day. I like feeling mentally and physically and emotionally drained and sometimes depressed because, there are things I want to do and things I need, but, that's just the way it is. How many times have I heard that's just the way it is? Or I like being, taking care of my family. I like meeting other people's needs, and, mine don't really matter. And, that kind of whole train of, you see how sad and pathetic that's sounding. Now, I'm not trying to belittle anybody's experience or anybody's particular. Some people feel like they're called to be caretakers of other people and things of that nature. But the reality of it is we must all be refilled. We must all be reinvigorated. We must all be healed. We all need a recharging and renewal of our internal selves, our core, our mind, body, and spirit. That's just a necessity that we all as individuals have. And so whether or not you acknowledge them or not, it doesn't matter whether you do that. The fact of the matter is that it exists. It is a reality. We all need it. And denying it is not going to make it not so. The only thing you will do is live along that river called denial, and you will continue to spin your wheels. You will continue to feel like you're trapped in a zone where you get up early, you wake up tired and frantic, and you go to bed in the same form, and you do it all over again, and then you reset for the next day. What kind of life is that? That is not even living. But some of us have allowed ourselves to be conditioned and domesticated in that sense. And that's my whole rant when I talk about the domesticated woman versus the undomesticated woman. I'm talking about conditioned, being conditioned and dominated and mind warped and brainwashed into accepting a certain state rather than growing and meeting your own needs and being what you are truly called to be as an individual. Remember, I always say that what you do is not who you are. Being a mother or a spouse is not who you are. It's something that you do. It's just another aspect of, expression of self that you do. Some women are very nurturing, and that's just not their thing. And that's nothing wrong with that. The whole point of it all is to be who you were called to be, to elevate, to change the world you live in, to really be impactful, to unpack the gift that you carry within. It is all beautiful and lovely and unique. And this world would be such a much more beautiful, pleasant, and experiential place if we all were able to tap in and awaken ourselves to who we are, to accepting and embracing who we are called to be, and not falling into or allowing ourselves to be conditioned by other people's expectations, be it society, be it culture, be it familial, however you want to call it. But living your true, authentic self calls for you to embrace who you are, to be powerful in that. We all carry power. We are all powerful beings, an expression of the divine and the universe. And we turn it into tragedy when we allow ourselves to be conditioned out of that, to be tamed, to be domesticated into something else. And so I'm going to jump off here and leave you wondering and let you marinate on those rantings and ideas, and let it charge you to awaken, sister. Awake, elevate, reinvigorate, be whole, be renewed, be empowered to be you, your authentic self. That's what authentic means to me. What does it mean to you? What does being domesticated mean to you? This is Tonya from Freedom at the Crossroads, helping women everywhere look better, feel better without the pressure. And I'm charging you to join the movement and to become an undomesticated woman.